You know how I would probably read that book? I would probably read it with the Gen Z stare, just the blank expressionless look that unfortunately so many young people are talking about. If you haven't noticed this yet, young kids who haven't properly been socialized, and there's a much deeper and probably scary and unfortunate findings in this in as a whole. They just kind of stare at you just blankly. If you ask a question, just kind of deer in headlights kind of thing. And it's gotten to the point where even NBC News is reporting on it. They did a big long piece about what is actually going on there. And some of the cases they were making is this Gen Z culture that got banned from going to school because of the Fauci fever, as well as grow up in the TikTok social media era, is just kind of unaware of how to act in the modern world and in real life. Haley, one, have you noticed this among people who are under the age of 25? And two, what do we need to do to get them to snap out of it?
Yeah, working with young Republicans, obviously I have a lot of interaction with young Democrats. And a lot of times that is the lights on, but nobody's home. And so this is exactly what I see in the Gen Z stare, unfortunately. Hopefully I think this also goes into the etiquette they use every day when they're out and about. This goes into how they interact with other people, how they talk. And I think that if we don't call it out and maybe mock it just a little bit, just a tad, just enough to make it uncool, I think that this could really start to change the generation because it's embarrassing when you compare it to other people.
Bobby, I want to set you up on this specifically. One of the points that was made in this article is that kids just kind of wait expressionlessly because they don't want to do something or say something that might get them canceled online because they haven't existed outside of the social media world. What words of wisdom do you think you could give to the Gen Z generation of, well, you shouldn't be worried about being canceled?
Well, I think that the words of wisdom, I mean, that's a tough one, but I just want to say that this might be a controversial view on this, but I actually think that what they're doing, that they're actually kind of victims of this more so than deciding to do this, because like they have so much information that's beyond the level of information that's ever existed ever. Even for us, we were really the first generation to have access to that with search engines and social media and whatnot. They don't know a world that doesn't have that. So I would almost wager that maybe it is that they're thinking and not so much that they're like dumb or that they're afraid of being canceled. I would almost wager that they're actually thinking, because there's so much information that they have to compute that if you, depending on the path that they end up taking, it's like your phone could make you a multimillionaire, whereas your phone for us didn't even exist at that age, and it couldn't really make you a multimillionaire. You had to have some other set of skills. So I would wager that what they're doing is a lot of processing, and I almost like feel bad that they're kind of like victimized in this way. And it's like, there is no older, phrase in the book than like making fun of the next generation to come. Not that I think that we're doing it maliciously, but it's like everybody made fun of us and said that we were lazy, said that we were spending too much time on the computer, yet here we are computering, building a life where we could work remote. I would say that a lot of them are processing it, but they absolutely should get more in touch with nature. I think all of us should in any generation. And B, not worry about, develop a thick enough skin so that you don't care what anybody says about you. And being canceled is certainly not something to worry about. And people making fun of you, they have to be more resilient to that than any generation ever. So that
totally. Yeah. And to piggyback onto that, I obviously enjoy making fun of, well, really every generation, but in specifically Gen Z and millennials. I always go back to, hey, they didn't raise themselves too. There's also that element of, maybe there's some blame to be put other than just that specific generation.